Hi, my name is Todd Mack. I'm the producer and host of the Grand Temple Show. I'm here today with one of my brothers, Greg Richardson, and we want to talk about some problems like what's going on in the world, like homelessness, drug abuse, incarceration, finances, things that we know that might help you get right, recovery. Yeah, that's all a part about drug abuse. You know what I mean? Because we're gonna
You right.
tell them about where they can go. We got places that they can go and get help from.
Right.
You know what I mean? I got a couple of people over the McLeod Center that, you know what I mean? Plus, I got you with the NA program, so you should be able to talk about that and everything will be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Greg, go ahead. Tell these people who you is today. Where you
Yeah,
from?
it is a privilege and an honor to be on this show today with my friend, one of my friends I grew up with, Todd Mack. Asked me to be a guest here today so I can share some of my experience on some issues that we're going to address today. Hopefully it will help somebody, you know, and it will uplift somebody today and help somebody find a new direction and a new understanding on some issues that may be addressed today with me and my friend Todd today.
Greg, the first thing I really want to get into is homelessness.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my friend was riding yesterday. We seen these people sleeping on the bridge. And God had already gave me the knowledge to want to do a show on homeless people. Not to get into their business, but to know how do you get in that condition? What happened? You know, where you end up homeless. Now, being me, and what I understand is that maybe 85% of people that's homeless have got homeless by a vice. And you know what I mean by a vice. They either had alcohol, heroin, cocaine, all consistent in the same thing we talking about. But this one, we're going to keep it focused on homelessness, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
I just, I asked them, how can you get from here? One of them I knew from a while, and he was had a good job, family, house, and I seen him sleeping on the bridge. So, I couldn't just understand how you get from point A to Z in such a little time. Um, most times it's a financial problem. I mean, people look at it like
Mm-hmm.
it's a financial problem and their money got messed up, somebody lost their job, but that don't necessarily make you homeless when you ain't got money because there's programs out here like the shelter, the Harvest Youth Shelter over there on North Tryon,
Yes, as
and
on North Tryon.
That'll help you out and help your family out, so you don't have to be on the streets. It probably won't help you with your finances, but it will help you so you won't have to be on the streets. So
Mm-hmm.
what you think about the people and what they have to do, how they got into the situation? Before we talk about the solution to the problem, we got to talk about what got them there, because some of them don't recognize their problem as a problem. You say what?
Yeah, my experience, thank you for sharing that. And my aspects and my experience with homelessness, I mean, years and years ago, about like 21 years ago, I experienced homelessness. So I know the feeling of, but that don't necessarily mean that they experience is my experience or my experience is their experience. I can, because I figure it could be you and your spouse could have been had an argument and you had to leave your house, or one of y'all left the house and had no other way to go, unless you got some relatives willing to take you in, and most times, a lot of times on a different note, that somebody could have been abusing drugs. They got on the drugs and, you know, spend up all their money because eventually that's where all your money go.
Right. Because,
And you know what I'm saying? And so you ain't got no money. And nobody ain't willing to, you know what I'm saying? Unless, you know, they got a heartfelt spirit like that. They'll take you in until you get on your feet. And then it's hard to trust people today. Because people, you know, if they, that means you taking a risk on somebody trying to help them.
but you know what? It's people out there in the streets. Some of them work. They call them functioning addicts. You know what I mean? A man that go out 8 hours a day. He works, but still, by the end of the week, or that Friday he got paid, he broke. So some of them is on Social Security and SSI where they got money. You know what I mean? They got a check coming in, a force of income coming in. But the vice and what they doing in the streets and the mindset has got them so messed up where they can't function regularly, like regular people, normal people living in the house. Any kind of assistant program, see, that's another thing. All these programs has been set up to help people. And when you have that drug mentality attitude, you misuse these programs. And you make it bad for people that really, really
That's right.
need these programs. What you think about the solution and what we can do to help people get off drugs?
Thank you. You know, that's a good issue. That you know.
Hold on, let me ask you this. I know for a fact, because you're my friend, I grew up with you for 40 years, and
Right.
it really ain't nothing to be ashamed about where God brought us from, because
That's
our
right.
testimony, we know, we tell our testimony to the world. So I know you have your problems with drugs, you know what I mean, in our early, younger days. I want you to tell the people what you had to do, or what the things you had to go through to get you off drugs.
Well, yeah, brother Todd. I had to, man. You know, I went through a lot of stuff before I got clean, before I got off drugs, man. You know, I experienced the homelessness. You know, I broke a lot of bridges. You know, and I did, you know, to the point where I isolated. Cause I couldn't go around people without having some kind of conflict. So I avoided a lot of that. So that made me go in a different direction. And so, you know, for many years I was out there until, you know, I decided I was incarcerated. And we was talking about one of the issues, being incarcerated.
Yeah, because they all come in together. They all fits into the same program
Right.
that, you know, we talking about. So you can use that conservation, everything, into even with homeless, because people go out and steal and do wrong and end up homeless when they come out of jail. They ain't got nowhere to live.
That's right.
All right, finish, Brother Greg.
And yeah, Brother Todd, man. And so I experienced that jail. So that gave me a sense of I had nowhere to go. Cause I lost the job. I couldn't hold on to a job, you know. So I'm controlled by this substance. It's called addiction. And it makes you do things you don't normally would do. So it puts you in a dangerous situation, you know. And so the end results of using and what goes after that means that's homelessness gonna come, incarceration gonna come, and sometimes death come. Or you might end up in an institution, but whatever the case may be, that's the hope, man. When you start experience incarceration, because that's a place where you got food, shelter, and they give you that, but it's up to the mindset. How you going, if you're going to continue to have that mindset of, you know, you're not going to follow your higher power, and you ain't going to allow a higher power in your life to help you, you know what I'm saying, and get to know that higher power so you can, and then what I'm saying is not lean not on your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge, you know, God, whoever that God is. And so when you get out of there, because I got out of jail, and my mother, you know, I'm either gonna be the man I need to be when I get out, or go back to my mom's house, or go to a program or a shelter, and go from there. See, that's gonna be your hope.
But listen to this, Greg. I was wondering.
If you, I'm sorry, Todd, brother, if you decide to follow that.
It's never a financial thing, you know what I mean? Because let's think about the people that had money. Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson,
Right.
and they all end up dying because of drugs. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not just finance that what you call it. I heard it once said that the easiest thing in the world and to do is to die, and the hardest is to live. It's easy to die. It's 9 million ways to die, Brother Greg.
You
But
better believe it.
But you know, it's hard to live and live right like God wants us to live. You understand what I'm saying? Because everybody got their own thing and their own analogy on how they want to do things. You know what I mean? But when it comes to like homeless people, you know what I mean? If you want to give them something, and you see them in the streets, you can give them what you want to give them. But when you give them some money, don't you worry about what that man going to do with it. Because if you do, then you destroyed your own blessing. You understand what I'm saying? You can't give a man some money and go tell him, oh, well, I don't want you to go buy no drugs, or I don't want you to do this with this. And you don't know the state of mind of this man. A drink might help him out. You understand what I'm saying? It don't have nothing to do with you because you gave in good intentions. You understand what I'm saying?
It's between him and his God.
Right.
And him and his higher power. You know what I'm saying?
Now, Greg, what programs did you connect to help you?
Before I got there, Brother Todd, I went through detox, but detox wasn't enough. You know what I'm saying? Because I still went back to the same people, places, and things when I should have stuck with the program. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, that helped me. That gave me some hope. That let me know that I ain't got to continue to be out in the streets the way I was. You know what I'm saying? Because I had nowhere to go. You know what I'm saying? And once I identified with these programs and you know, NA, you know, but whatever NA, they got NACA, they got any type of recovery process for anybody who's willing, if they want to, whether it be alcohol, drugs, or whatever. You know, even addictions with behavior. Because once you put down the drugs, you're dealing with your behavior. You got to deal with how you got there the first time and where your attitude at.
You sure right about that.
You know what I'm saying? Where your attitude towards that. And so, you know, I say this, man, that, you know, is your willingness. What are you willing to do to get better?
Greg, you know what, man, you talked about this before many times, and I came to believe that there's no rehabilitation in nothing. Nothing. I've been out there. I know for a fact that there's no rehabilitation in nothing but Jesus Christ. Don't matter what you do, you're going to have to put Jesus in what you call it. And we can talk about other religions, and you can put your God up in front. I mean, you can do that. It wouldn't be, you know, big issue if that's what you want to do. But is he going to help you overcome that problem? Now, when I think about when I was in the street, they say on one level, you meet another devil. On the next level, okay, you put the drugs down, but now you're a drug dealer. You understand what I'm saying? Still destined to hell. Still on the pathway to hell. You know what I mean? You have to understand that we have to not only gravitate to these programs that's available for us, like the McLeod Center for people that's using right now. They got the McLeods and the Brother Rodney. Shout out to Brother Rodney. He's one of the counselors there. I meant to get his number so we can post it after the show, but y'all know the McLeod Center. You can go ahead and Google it and ask for Rodney. He's a drug counselor there. You know what I mean? And he also going to help you get off the streets. You have to understand that it's not, that's just the first step. Jesus said, you take one step towards me, I'll step towards you. You know what I mean?
That's right.
You have to take more steps when you go, like this program that you was connected to so much about. The 12, it's 12 steps. You understand what I'm saying? The first step just ain't gonna help you. You gotta make the other steps in order for you to be a survivor. You said that when you left, you came right back out and you was around the same people. The Bible tells us not to yoke with them type of people.
You
You
gotta
understand
change.
what I'm saying? So is it more consistent on what we're saying and what you're doing and in the streets in order for you to stay off drugs. And then you have to have something that you care about. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you know what I'm gonna say about that? Some people do it for different reasons. Sometimes people got they court appointed. Some people do it for their kids to get their kids back. Some people do it because they want their wife or husband back, you know. And some people are sick and tired of being hurt and going through what they're going through. But whatever the case may be, number one is your God. You gotta connect. You gotta have something loving and caring, man, that you believe in for first. Because you know, you got a lot of hurt and angry. People are angry and hurt, and they don't know how to channel that stuff.
What
Right?
about the people that
And
don't
that's
have God, don't
and
believe
that's
in
why
God?
we carry, and that's why sometimes you said say that again. I didn't get it.
I say, what about the people that don't have God and don't believe in God, atheists?
Okay.
Do they have a chance of recovery?
Well, in their own way, yeah, they can have a chance to recover.
Yeah,
You know, whatever that belief is, because you know what? They might believe in a chair to sit in. You know what I'm saying? That might be what they believe in. But
Right.
whatever they believe in, they got the, you know, they got the ability and the opportunity to believe what they want to believe, and whatever's going to help them until they find out different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, I have we always can go back. I want you to always feel free during this program to, you know, come back to something. If we go on to the next thing, but if it still has something to do with what we just got finished talking about, and you can fit it into that, then you need to talk about it, like finances. A lot of problems that we're having with money, a lot of people blame it on the government. I think I talked about this before on Mr. Brown's show, that these people, right, when you got money, right, and you continue to do what you want to do with your money, the wrong things with your money, but you blame the government for most of these things. Like right now, it's a big thing. Why we behind enemy lines and we not doing good as black people? They blame the president. I mean, like I advocate for Donald Trump, but guess what? I'm not gonna let no man stop me from moving forward. You understand what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
Even if he is president, he ain't gonna stop Todd Mack from doing what I have to do to live right. You know what I mean? So therefore, as we was talking about earlier, a lot of black people, more black people, you know, being a black man, you know, I love all people, but being a black man, my concern is more for my people. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm saying being a black man, we have a sense to want to point the finger at corporate America. That's the 1% and everybody out there with all the money, instead of getting a mindset going to get that money for yourself. No one really want to go and work 8-hour job. I mean, 8-hour jobs every day. Most of our people wanted to come easy through Lotto, and I'm reluctant to say, but I'm going to say it. that if you get, God don't give everybody money. He'll give you what you need to survive, but he can't make everybody a millionaire because some people don't know how to handle $1 million. You might turn into the biggest drug dealer, the biggest killer in the world, and you're supposed to belong to God. So he don't give everybody money. That's something that you have to
that's
come
true.
into. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you won a lottery for let's say $28 million, and you're not connected in no kind of way, do you know if it's God? That's what I believe. And it's just me. This is my personal belief. So I don't want nobody to run with this. God didn't give it to you. God didn't give it to you. Your blessings is from the devil. Don't nobody on the face of this earth got more money than Satan. Nobody. The devil always take care of his own. You understand what I'm saying? He always take care of his own. This is why you got these rich rappers, they ain't talk about nothing but killing and shooting and everything, and they going double platinum. Why? Because you saying what the devil wants you to say. And the Bible say that in 2 John 4, that the God of the earth has blinded them, so they can't see the truth. They can't see the truth. The God of the earth is Satan because of what Adam did. We don't got to go into all that. You know that Adam turned over all powerful authority over to the devil. So the earth belonged to the devil. You understand? This is why you see little kids getting smoked, people getting shot, and they think, oh, well, if it was God, why would he got that happen? Why would he allow that to happen? Because the devil, this system is controlled by the devil. You know what I mean? And people have to understand with their finances, God said, if a man don't work, he don't eat. That was Adam's punishment. Back in the Bible when he told Adam he had to tend the fields for his food now. You know, because God gave us everything in the garden. Everything was there for free. We could pick up any kind of fruit we wanted, anything we wanted to eat. But when he disobeyed God, God said, for that, you're going to have to work the fields for your food.
And you're right.
So, in the new days sense, God law never changed.
Never.
God is the same God he was in the old and the same God in the new. So if he say a man don't work, a man don't eat.
That's right.
You have to, it's things you got to do right now to earn your keep and what you call it. I mean, to be able to be successful in life. You have to, it's things you got to do. It's an order set up by God. You know what I mean?
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Todd, Brother Todd. The system, it's like, man, sometimes there's a lot of issues going on, like what they call it, favoritism?
Favoritism?
Yeah, favoritism. What you believe in spite of what's going on around you, and trying to be a man of God, be successful, and just basically be example, a good example, not no bad example. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And I know people can change because I'm one of them people. You one of them too. We are productive. We're a product of our environment, right? We came up in a decent household. You know, our family did the best with what they had.
Right.
It was issues going on, but basically, we knew we got some good orderly direction, right? And so now, God, we grown men, and God is telling us what we did back then. He still got us, right? Because a lot of our friends died.
Dead.
A lot of our friends in
Gone
jail.
and dead.
They gone in dead, or they in jail. Or they still out there doing the same thing, right?
That's why we talking about it
And
today.
some of them doing good,
Right.
too. And so now, we one of the ones. We're some of the ones who made it, right?
Right.
And so everybody ain't gonna.
Only through the grace of God. It ain't nothing special about me or you
Right.
other than what you call
Right,
it.
right.
We made it through the grace of God.
God's grace and mercy, right? And
Right.
so you know, my journey and your journey, right? Kind of different, but the same. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? We ended up making a difference. We ended up trying to make a difference for other people, you know, in general, whether it be our family, our friends, and whatever out there, or just strangers. Because, you know, you got, when we was talking about the homelessness, you know, I know, you know, you could be successful and be homeless, you know, because you could lose in a split of a second. Everything.
Right.
Go right within a split of seconds. You could lose everything,
Right.
Todd. Because I know many people have done that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so, like I said, don't give up. The message for that is don't give up no matter what. You know, just because hope is there, it's just the enemy. We talked about the enemy, the devil. He's there to make you believe that it ain't no sense of you doing what you're doing, because all you're going to continue to do is repeat. You know what I'm saying? And I was one of them persons that believed that, you know, I kept repeating doing something, because then it got to the point where it ain't nowhere to go. It's hopeless. That's why we talk about suicide. Now, that's another issue. And mental health, because people don't know how to speak for themselves. So they need a voice, right?
Right.
And maybe some people, gentlemen like me and you, Brother Todd, we can be that voice for some people.
Right. It's Greg. I mean, God, you gotta understand. It's all about God. And listen to this.
Right.
He didn't clean you up and bring you out the streets of Hartford, Connecticut.
That's right.
For you to just sit down and shut your mouth. Your testimony can help somebody in the world. He did this so you can tell the people about the good things. That's when you recognize what God did for you, because some people
That's right.
will be like, yo, it was me. My father helped me out, and I made it to here. My mother did this. My mama gone now. It's not, it ain't, I mean, I got brothers and sisters, cousins, aunts and uncles and all that. You know what I mean? But I rely on me.
That's
You understand
right.
what I'm saying? To take me to where I have to go in the next phase, because that was instilled in me. It was instilled in me at a young age to be all you can be. You
That's right.
understand?
That's right.
So what I'm saying is, it's like, okay, I was just talking to another friend of mine, and we was talking about black people and how what we have to do to come up. And you know, Louis Farrakhan. I was like, well, listen, I don't agree with one thing that Louis Farrakhan say, and that's his God. Everything else, I'm 100. I love this man. You know, I'm 100% with him on, because what he's talking about, owning our black businesses, being, you know, having our own black political party, and a man taking care of our kids. And if every man took his kids, we wouldn't have, we wouldn't, you know, we wouldn't have sisters out there on welfare looking for handouts if they had people, real men like yourselves, to go out there and take care of kids. I know, you know, when you got married, you raised kids that wasn't even yours. You was a father to them. You know what I mean?
Stepdad.
Well, it was a father to them. Still, dad, stepdad, same thing.
Right.
But I'm saying that God has blessed you for that, because I know where your life came from and where you going. You know what I mean? But I'm saying that it all starts with people. You have to listen to people. Like when I spoke about Louis Farrakhan, because he's one of the guys that I do sit back and throw I wouldn't say that I admire
Oh,
him.
you okay? I went too
I
far.
wouldn't, bro, I wouldn't say that I admire him, but I'm saying that when you talk about his intelligence
Yeah.
with coming and making it out of a bad situation, um, he talks about these things, and it's very, very touching. Why? Because I know it to be the truth. You know what I mean? You look at him and say, well, man, you ain't gonna never agree when it comes to who God is. But man, listen, when he tell you how to get from A to B and you get there, this is people you gotta listen to.
And
And
that's
you know,
yeah, you're right.
the message is set out toward to black and white people. You know, God people multicultural. You understand what I'm saying? He might say he don't agree with the white man, and he might call them all devils, but that ain't what Brother Todd say. You know what I mean? I know that the fact that they are God people, if they choose it's God that we serve. And 90% of the problems is all we have to do. We don't have to live behind enemy lines. We don't have to. We don't have to be. We, I ain't gonna even say blue collar because some people is under the blue collar status. You know what I mean? We don't have to live like that. You know what I mean? I know for a fact that by just talking to the homeless people, that they got a problem with vices. It don't even have to be. It
But
don't even have to be drugs and alcohol and drugs. It can be just messing with girls. You know what I mean? I mean, you know the way they got things. You know they got dudes that go spend all their money up in the strip club and think like they done did something. I couldn't see why a man would take $2,000 and go to a strip club and drop their money on some girls when they probably got a nice girl at home and they can spend $2,000 on her.
That's called insanity. That's what you call that. I got a nice girl at home and I'm gonna go spend my money. It's probably, that's the trick of the enemy. The mindset. You know why? Because, if your mindset is right, where if you connected to the higher power who you believe in, he's loving and caring, right?
Man.
You don't want to hurt people. You ain't gonna hurt yourself, and you ain't gonna disrespect yourself.
They say
right?
They say they balling.
Balling. That's what they. That's the the guidance. Like I say, but Todd, man, I'm telling you, brother Todd, man, listen.
You balling stupidly.
I'm grateful, man, that I experienced. I could do that if I want to, but I just know, man, that I stay faithful and connected to whether I'm saying something out of my character, you know what I'm saying? I ain't perfect, by no means, nobody perfect, but some people set themselves up to be perfect, man. Like, people, you can walk by a person and say hi, they won't even say hi back, out of respect, but that's okay. I'm powerless over people and how they think and how they act, right? But I gotta be controlled over. Yeah, I know. I was trying to touch my heart.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
But I'm gonna touch my heart without doing it anyway. But Todd, man,
Great. Let's talk about back in, coming up.
growing up. Oh man.
Growing up in the streets.
Oh man.
When we was the disciple 30s. Now,
Gang.
I mean, ain't nobody glorifying no bullet wounds. So don't nobody on Facebook or anywhere think that we glorifying bullet wounds. But I know for a fact that Greg been shot.
Couple of times, 3.
He been shot. I've been shot. So therefore, nobody here is trying to sell you nothing. This stuff sells itself. You don't have to listen to me, but this sells itself because I want to talk about things that we did coming up. Our family was there, and I mean, you did a couple of stuff, got caught in a bad situation, and you got shot. Me, most people don't really know that problem, but I I had a fight with some dudes, and as we was fighting, he dropped these wallets. He had these wallets with the calculators in it.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Trey were together, and I walked up to the car. I was like, "Well, get away from the car!" And I smacked the wallets, and the wallets just was all over the ground. He began to talk, and I beat him up. He was like, "Todd, gonna get you." They ran, came back. I was at the basketball court up at Clark School, and when I seen them, it was like 7 of them from Chappelle, and some was from Stowe Village. And when I went up to them, I was like, "Man, what y'all want to do? Fight?" It was like, "Nah, Todd, we don't want to fight. Everything cool." So I picked my jacket up, Greg, and tried to turn back around and start walking out, and they started shooting.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, that was a situation that I had to go through, and from you lying on that ground and blood coming out of you, and you don't know God. You've been a hoodlum for all your life. You don't know God from Adam from Eve. But the first thing I said was, "God help me. Please don't let me die." It's funny now because God done saved my life. Regardless of what condition I am, God done did what he had to do for me. But I was like, "Please, God, don't let me die. Don't let me die in the streets like this." And guess what? God showed me who he was, because it couldn't like I can get up and run.
Mm-hmm.
They shot me with my legs couldn't work, so, bang, bang, bang. And we won't call his name out, to do this, because he's dead now, and God bless his family, but he ran up and hit me in the face with a gun. You know what I mean? If my friends wouldn't come, I believe they would have shot me some more in the face. You know what I mean? But these are things that you went through. The people have these things that in their life that they have to go through in order to get from A to B. Nothing just comes to you, and nothing just happened for everything happened. It's for a reason. We don't have to like it. No, God ain't set it up for me to get shot. You understand? That was all me. That was my work. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But because God don't set nobody up for failure. You understand what I'm saying? Nor is he's a holy God. No way he try to hurt you. But right now, everybody on the face of this earth is under an umbrella. This umbrella right here. We under this umbrella. And as soon as you come from out of that umbrella and God pull you from under, you at the mercy of the devil. You in the devil playground. You understand what I'm saying? That means you're no longer under protection of God. You understand? He done pulled you from under this umbrella. You're not,
He brought you from a mighty
right.
long way.
He brought you a mighty long way, and he pulled you away from him.
Whoa.
So, when you pull away from him, then you don't, the Bible say that God reign on the just and the unjust. You just get the blessings that the unjust get. He think he blessed because he woke up every morning. He think he blessed because he probably eat every day. This is blessing that God has sown. He said that he's going to bless the unjust. But in order for you to go to that next level, in life, where you can do things right for the Lord, you're going to have to tell it. You can't do the Mother Goose theory and sit down on this good information when there's dudes out there going through the same thing
Giving up.
went through. You're going to have to get this up. It don't matter if you're embarrassed. See, I was embarrassed about most of the things I did in the streets, all the way to God gave me the Holy Ghost. Once he gave me the Holy Ghost, I wasn't embarrassed no more. I'm not embarrassed about to tell the world about Jesus, the God I love. I'm not embarrassed about
What he
that no
has
more.
done for you.
Right. And I'm not into interconnection with other people that's not like me. No, I don't hate them. Sure, I love them. But I set paths. I'm not a follower.
And you're a great example, Todd.
Right.
Brother Todd.
But now we want to hear about your situation.
Growing up?
No. When you got shot.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
I was caught in the grip of that lifestyle, Todd. You know, out there in the streets, hustling.
Oh, I understand, brother.
Getting high, drugs. So reality of that was I didn't work. I wanted instant gratification. I wanted money right away. You know what I'm saying? I needed money right away, and I know a job wasn't going to give me money right away. So I try to rob somebody, and I tried to rob somebody, man, and I broke in their house, and the people I didn't know they was there, and I ended up, that's when I ended up, getting shot. And so the person was in there when I went in there, but I was one of them bold type of, I had to be bold to go in there, not real knowing that I'm risking my life.
Right.
But that's what them drugs and that lifestyle do. For a person like me, I can't speak for everybody, but that's where it took me, because I'm a go-getter. Whether it be wrong or right, I'm a go-getter, man. Somehow I'm going to think my way, but I used it for the wrong reasons. Mm-hmm. And so when I got shot, Todd, I was laying up in the hospital, man. The dude shot. I was even trapped in the house. I was trapped inside the house. I couldn't get out.
Right.
And so he was shooting. He could have killed me. He could have shot me in my head. I could have got shot in the head. You know what I'm saying? But I guess the man must have just wanted to protect his home. If I was in his predicament, I would have felt the same thing. And so I, ended up, I got away. I didn't go to the ambulance. I didn't go. I went back. I jumped on my bike and rode it and went home. And blood, people was looking like, wow. Because they seen all this blood on me, I wasn't thinking about all that. I was just thinking about getting away. And I went home, and my mother was in the kitchen cooking breakfast, and I snuck behind her because I knew I didn't want to deal with my mom, what she was going to say, because she always told me, boy, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to, something going to happen. And sure enough, and I didn't want to see the truth. And so I snuck behind my mother while she was cooking. She was right in the kitchen. I walked behind her. She probably didn't pay me no mind, but I snuck behind her because I didn't want her to see me like that. And so finally, my uncle was on the porch, and I asked my uncle, did I have any holes on my body, like my upper body? And he said, yeah, you got a couple of holes. You got one on the side, one in the back. Because I couldn't look down. I was losing a lot of blood, and I went in there, man, and laid on the couch.
You don't want to get shot in the back, bro. Anyway you want to get shot, that's the blood.
And I was lucky, you know why? Because it was not right next to my spine. They couldn't take it out. They couldn't do it because of that reason. So, my mother finally came in there, and I decided to go tell her. Because I said, I might just lay up here and die on this couch. So I need to let my mother know I got shot.
Did that stop you? I mean, after you got shot, did that stop you?
It slowed me down. It ain't really stopped me. It slowed me down, Todd. Slowed me down a little bit. It did. It slowed me down some.
All right, then what stopped you? Because conservation? Because I know you heard the door slam. I know you heard the door slam a couple of times. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, incarceration. Oh man, that's when I found recovery, being incarcerated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Jail saved some guys. Let's get it right.
Yeah, now jail ain't always bad.
Jail saved.
It depends It depends how you see jail.
Yeah.
How you see jail is. Do you see it for, different focus. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna go back out and do the same thing, or you're gonna get worse. Cause some people go in there. I went in there. I went to school. I worked. You know what I'm saying? And I need to say this. In jail, being incarcerated, you could get the same stuff out there that you can get in jail. You can get drugs. You can get all that stuff. You can stop stealing. You can stop dealing drugs and all of that, man.
Okay, what made you not get him if
you're addict? Oh, because, man, I started going to church, man. I wanted to go back to my original state where my parents guided me. You know what I'm saying? I started thinking back, man. I started saying, man, either I'm gonna change for the better or change for the worse. So I changed for the better. I started going to church. I wanted to know about the God I serve, and how to do better, for myself.
I must say so.
You know what I'm saying?
I must say so, Brother Greg. If it's just me saying that you have done well for yourself, I'm not gonna say I know you. I know who you was coming, and you probably was one of the brothers that didn't come up missing an account. You know what I mean?
And
I know. Hold up. Let me just finish this. I know for a fact how many years that you've been clean. But go ahead and tell the people how many years you've been clean.
21 whole years clean.
That is a long time. Concerning who this brother is and where he came from. And one thing that he elaborated on that very, 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 very important to me and important to the people is he said he went to church. And I know for a fact, him going to church, he connected to Jesus.
I sure did.
He connected to the one and only true God, Jesus.
I sure
now,
did.
It's easy for us to sit up here and talk to Charlotte and all your other states and cities everywhere else and say, man, who listening to these two dudes? They ain't. But understand this, if you knew who we was and where we came from,
wow,
you will understand that it was God that brought us out of everything.
Only God.
Only God. There's no other way we getting out of this without this. This is why, Brother Todd, you know what I mean? You know how people always want to be important. It feel like boom, 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 boom. I'm the man.
Yeah.
Man, I had to decrease many times years ago and understand the whole up, bruh. Listen, I know you love me. I love you too. Baby, yeah, I know you love me and I love you too, but it's not about me. You know what I mean? Everything I do right now, I try to do it for the glory of God. Not because I have to, because I can go home and ask God to forgive me and me and God still going to be cool. Believe me. But based on the things that he did for me in my life and where he brought me from,
wow,
I feel like, man, I owe you.
Yeah.
I owe you everything. When let's say you had a guy, me and you friends, and I came to your house, gave you money, took care of your family, gave you some money to take care of your family, and I did this on a consistent basis. That's every day. You're going to feel like you owe me, right? That's how I feel with God. Man, I owe you. You know what I mean? And it don't have nothing to do with, we owe you now.
For what he's done for you,
Yeah.
it's got to do.
Basically what he done for me. It has a lot to do with it, but it ain't got nothing to do with me. Because you have to understand that, people have to understand who you is in order for them to get, it ain't nothing. The reason why Facebook is involved with this, not to show off, because we live on TV right now. It don't have nothing to really do with Facebook. We just letting you be privileged to this conversation. Why? Because y'all know us. Y'all from Hartford, Connecticut. Y'all know what we've been through. It ain't no sense in telling some testimony on another area code and not talk around the people that supposed to know you. It don't make no sense. If you know me, then you know what God brought me through, and ain't no being phony about it. You understand?
And-
We ain't getting no glory points for this. Nobody ain't, Greg, Brother Richardson is not upping me up, and I'm not doing it for him. That means I could sit up here and tell you some stuff that'll get the devil psyched up.
Mm-hmm.
Him and
But
his
we
little
ain't
pretty
here
girlfriend.
for that.
But we ain't here for that.
Nah.
This is about love.
Love
You know what I mean?
only.
What God did for us.
Lifting up.
Right. You know what I mean?
Uplifting.
Right. It the one and only true God make you important in the world. Come on, man. You can remember when they wasn't nothing. You know us. If you know us from Africa, I know these two dudes. I remember he wasn't nothing. It still ain't nothing. But the God that I serve is everything. And I'm his son. It's like I inherit everything he got. All his love, everything that he want me to do, the glory, everything. All that's mine. We got it. All that's mine. And, I'm not going to stop.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Like I just told you, some of the things that we've been through, if we went in corporate America and talked to them about it, they wouldn't understand it. Some of them wouldn't understand it, especially the ones that don't know God. You know what I mean? They look at us like we really low life.
You know what? And we are some of the intelligent people out there in society. You know why I say that? Not to brag or boast, but we never had the chance. We gave up on ourselves before we was able to address the mental stuff going on with us. Afraid, we didn't know how to talk about it, or we was afraid to talk about it.
Right.
The fear base, being paralyzed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And once you find, that's number one, once you find the God of your understanding, all of that stuff change.
Everybody came from somewhere.
All that,
right?
once you find the God of your understanding, all that stuff gonna change. Once you find that true belief in who you really are, like me and Brother Todd, you know what I'm saying? We know who we are. We accept that where we at today, but in a different light, a light that not comes from our own base, but the light that comes from what God has placed upon us. So, I've been married. Todd never been married, but talking about a family life, huh?
Still married.
Yeah, I'm still married.
Okay.
I'm still married.
Thanks
Thanks for correction.
Hi, Vendetta.
Thanks for correcting me. I had a beautiful wife in my life, you know.
Right.
I had a wonderful family, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm separated for the now. I'm still married, but I'm separated. And thank you for correcting that, because that's important to me.
Right.
It might not be important to other people,
Really
but
important.
I experienced being married for 13 years, being in a relationship with somebody, believing in somebody.
Right.
That's not my will, that's God's will. That was God's will
Your
for
wife
me.
would have been like, why you let him just say that, Todd? What's wrong with you? Why you let that? Why you just say? Because I know, but I'm just saying, been problems. So, but let me just say this, Greg. Everybody on the face of the earth, some of them won't talk about it.
But that's all right.
But hold up, some of them won't talk about it. But they've been through some stuff, some bad stuff. A lot of skeletons in the closet.
I've been through it. I've been
And
through
don't
it,
want to
brother.
bring it out.
I've been through
You know
that
what I mean?
too, brother. I've been through some bad times. Marriage ain't, marriage is a beautiful thing now, but it's just your maturity and your attitude, and your connection what you put first in your relationship, whether you married or single, eventually you're gonna fall in love. Most likely, you might fall in love with somebody.
Well, bro.
But
Let me get.
Speaking on family, and I just needed to say that, my experience and somebody that might be dealing with that type of stuff. I got some stories to tell.
Come over here and see if we can get in the Facebook.
Uh-uh.
What you got? Camera 2, What? Oh well, nobody on the camera too. But now,
You want me to?
just wanted y'all. I don't think you should. You can change it. Yeah, right there, right there. That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you. I just want to take time out right now to thank my guest, my brother. You know what I mean, for coming out. You know, one time. Soon we gonna go on the streets of Charlotte, you know, and do some talking to some people, and we gonna do it. We gonna do it live. We ain't take no Facebook question because my director's it's just something she's doing with me right now, and I'm just really, really learning. I'm looking at y'all, and I thank y'all for watching. I see that was on there. My cousin Susan, I see you out there, and Kevin Bryson, Sincere, I see you. You know, and we ain't really, this is our first time really experiencing with Facebook Live. But Greg Richardson, I want to thank you for coming on the show again and talk about these issues. And I know I asked a couple of tough questions about family wisdom, but I believe in my heart that, you know, you was willing to give it up because, you know, it ain't really about you. It's about other people that's out there going through the same thing that we going through.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I want to thank all the members of my church, Grand Temple, Elder Miller, Deacon Bailey, W.C. Miller. I love y'all. I'm Todd Mack. We out. I mean, yeah, well, they tell us to go on a little on, stretching on. But he just gave me the 5 minutes time. He just gave me the 5 minutes time, and I figured that we still had, that was 5 minutes in talking, but that's why I wanted to pull you over to the Facebook, and they could see who I was talking to, because they never, after all the conversation that you seen, they really didn't get a chance to see you. You know what I mean? But just really
Nice to see everybody out there.
Brother Paul Brown. I knew I did 5.5. I did 4.5, or what you call it. Should have
Nice
told
to
Conan
see everybody out there
the cut.
in the world doing what they're doing.
Oh yeah.